Last time we got to hang out with Hasport, the woolly wizard, and one of the people who resides in one of the 24 towers around the Grand Athenaeum inside of Aurora's Rest. There's a lot of titles right there. He claimed that he is one of the foremost experts in the world on graphs. Margot peppered him with questions. You guys discovered that there was some sort of elemental presence inside of Aurora's Rest itself that was linked to fire. And after investigating, theorized that fire has a presence inside of the city for some reason. But you're all exhausted. And decided not to do anything about it right now. And Hasport even quasi-summoned Albiadala Mandur, one of the world's experts on the cardinal elements and their role in the world. She was very surprised to hear about Dro and Warden being two under the radar champions that she had not heard of yet. There was quite a bit of awkward, silly behavior from Warden, followed by a conversation between the two resident champions, and a night of rest. So, as you guys go to your respective quarters, and Eve shows you a way, they've got plenty of rooms. They're pretty humble and simple, but comfortable inside of the tower. And eventually the grinding and the movement of the tower itself as it shapes and twists eventually calms down, and more like it just floods into the back of your head, and you stop noticing it after a while as it just becomes consistent background noise. Anything in particular that you guys want to do as you are in your rooms or getting some rest?
Yeah, I think this is a great time for Warden to go ahead and rest, so I'll be taking that long rest.
Okay. All right. Anybody else doing anything in particular?
No.
I see mischievousness in your eyes, Lily.
It's such a bad idea to do this, because I know I'm gonna jinx myself, and everything's going fine right now. So really, I don't. But it's everything's going a little too fine right now. There's a part of me that's I feel like I need to do a vitals check on myself just a little bit, but I think I'm sure everything will be fine when I, do a little check on my chimera.
Hey, so you're doing an internal check?
Yeah, just like a little, you still alive, or we run? How are we doing on time?
What kind of time are you referring to? Are you talking about
just
internal time?
The internal world time, does it look like things are getting worse? Does it look like things are getting better?
Okay. Go ahead and give me your insight check to yourself, as per usual.
They're gonna...
Yep. That sounds about right. Ooh, also, I'll say this more officially here. As I'm doing a bunch of research right now on the 2024 Player's Handbook, which anything related to all that, I'm just going to call 6th edition, because saying 2024 Player's Handbook is way too fucking long. So I'm just going to call it 6th edition for simplicity's sake. As I've been doing research on that, drinking a potion is now a bonus action. Administering a potion is now a bonus action. Inspiration is now a reroll of whatever dice you want. So it's like any dice roll. So if you are healing, you can reroll that healing roll. If you are doing damage, you can reroll that damage roll. If you are doing a D100, because I'm very fond of those, Quentin, every one of Quentin's inspirations are now going towards D100s. It is a reroll of any dice roll. Not a singular dice, but a dice roll. So if you've got a pool of dice, it applies to the whole pool rather than anything on its own. So you don't have to reroll like 1d6 out of 5d6. That would suck. So, Yazlit, do you have inspiration that you want to reroll that with?
I mean, I have an inspiration, but I also feel like this is very on track for Yaslin's own awareness of herself.
Let it lie. All right. What's your process like as you approach this today?
She kind of does like the same thing she always does, kind of like sits down, kind of relaxes and looks inward. She's really, since things have been going so well, she's really not fully sure what she's expecting. She's more just like hoping things don't look as bad as they have been.
Okay. Alright, any verbiage that you're using, or is it just peering?
She's just peeking. She doesn't really want to let whatever this thing is know that she's peeking. Like, I'm gonna try to do this as quiet as I can.
Sure. We're gonna treat that insight check like it's a mental stealth roll.
Oh god.
So you essentially walk through the kitchen at night when mom and dad are sleeping after you just like came home from a party and the cupboard is open and you just tripped over 6 pots and pans. That's the mental equivalent of what's happening right here. You step through and what you enter in a way that you are familiar with, but you're met with unfamiliarity as in the space around you, as you kind of like mentally dive in, you start to move kind of forward and like downward in emotion, and suddenly you are aware that your body is tight with threads.
Oh no.
And they start to snap.
Uh-oh.
And you just set off mental alarms.
Fuck.
You land on the ground, you're kind of covered in this like webby, almost garment of stickiness.
Oh, fuck.
And from around you, you hear
yeah, you know, I was trying to do that a little more quietly than I did. I'm going to look around for my chimera.
Give me a perception. Because right now it is dark. Like, usually there's like a little bit of like light in here, but these threads are almost all encompassing right now. So much so that they're kind of blocking out some of the light, so it's a little bit more difficult. 13, you can vaguely see like a shape crawling on the ceiling above you in this kind of like rocky cavern that you've been in many times before.
Yeah. Like, I don't really like that I'm in here.
Um,
Yeah. Okay.
no, you just get vagary on the approximate location of Cax.
Mm. I don't know. I know I'm not gonna win a fight in here. I'm gonna see if I can slowly extract myself from this. Like,
Are you backing
like,
up?
yeah, she's like, Yas is like slowly backing up. She's like, okay, obviously things are much worse than they initially were now.
Okay. I wanna check from you,
Oh,
and I'm trying to determine what I want. We're gonna go with survival.
okay, I'm good at survival.
Uh-huh.
Catherine knows how to survival things.
15. As you see this, your instincts kind of kick on, and you start observing what's around you. And there are little orbs.
Excuse me? Excuse me?
I was watching your face to see how you would react. I said the word orb, and your eyebrow went doink.
Look.
Scattered around inside of this space. And as you back up, there's a trip line. And kind of you focusing on those, and it catches your Achilles tendon,
Shit.
and you fall backwards, and you are a little bit stuck in some webbing.
This is not good. Shit. I'm gonna try to rip myself out of this as
Okay.
quickly as I can.
Give me a strength saving throw.
Alright, strength. Jasmine's good at these.
Jeez! Alright, you get in there, and like your left heel is the one that tripped, and you take your right foot and kind of just plow it straight through this kind of like angled backwards webbing, and you just all in one leg just rip yourself out of it, and you are covered in sticky goog.
Ugh. Great.
Yep. Start
This
ripping
is
it off.
literally turned into a spider's lair, and I hate it.
Right? And like as you do, like landing right where you were a moment ago as you step forward, the net is like squashed and completely flattened. And you hear and feel this behind you.
You've been waiting for me.
And you feel her breath like breathing on the back of your neck. What do you do?
I swing around and I punch.
And you what?
I'll swing around and I'll like try to left hook her.
Okay, roll an attack. Roll an unarmed strike.
Oh my gosh, I think I missed completely. That's a 10 to hit. Oof.
I'm so happy I get to use this music right now. Feel free to drop the volume. I can't hear it nearly as well because I have severely misplaced my headphones and I do not know where they are. So you turn around and swing, and all you catch is shadow. You feel breath on your neck again.
Can I swing again?
Try it.
Gosh. Gonna be,
And again, not there. Just wisp of shadow. You haven't truly seen her at all in this time.
I'm so pissed. I'm gonna go over. I'm gonna go those weird looking orb things. I think I know what they are, and I'm gonna squish one of them because I'm so pissed. I'm like, you. I'm gonna find you. You're gonna come out and you're gonna fight me.
There's a couple within a few feet of you, and she doesn't react right away, but as you run over and just stomp on them, no rolls required, they're moving and you're strong as hell. Just stomp. And some goo like splatters out and stains the surrounding webbing. And you hear and she drops down. This time your instincts kick in, and I need you to make a dexterity saving throw as you can feel her going for a swipe against you.
Okay, I've got advantage on dex saves. Things I can save on. Holy crap! I'm covered in goo. I'm sticky.
Why did you let Kiki give you her dice?
I don't know. I had advantage from danger sense and everything, and I rolled a 3 and a 5. I don't know.
Yeah, you did. What's up?
Oh my gosh, I have not been rolling good, guys. You might not see Aslan for a little bit.
Your dice are abysmal today.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened. I need to cleanse them.
Right? Okay. Okay. You start to duck, and you think what is like going to be like a swipe for about your like in between your shoulder blades. It's actually like 3 different swipes all at once, and so you duck down, and like the first one goes over, but you didn't account for the 2 in the lower, and so smack. You take what was that math? You take 17 points of bludgeoning damage and are thrown against a cavern, smacking into a wall, again kind of stuck. And now you begin to see her, at least her eyes. You see in this dark cavern the shadowy figure stepping closer. And the eyes coming into more and more red focus. Underestimated here. Not many would be willing to mar themselves to degree. And give me a perception check. Yes.
Okay. It's better than I have been.
17. You notice two things. One, that as she is stalking towards you, her head pronounced out of the chest area of the quadrupedal chimera. The dragon, the lioness, and the goat, all of their heads slumped and kind of swaying side to side. The snake just limp on the ground, dragging behind it. And you hear... as you finally get a decent look at her face, and two of her main mandibles are partially sheared away. You can see them wriggling and growing slowly in an attempt to regenerate. But there is dark, almost purpley black blood dripping from them, landing on the ground and sizzling. And the second thing you see is a slight, momentary glint of blue from the eyes of the lioness. Not even sure if it was your mind playing tricks or what. You forced me to up my tongue. Your body will be my catalyst soon enough.
No. Absolutely not.
Seems like you have a choice. You do not. I assure you. And she comes on over, and one of the massive paws shoots down to try to stomp you. This is kind of turning into impromptu combat. Yaslin, I need you to roll initiative now.
Okay. Don't
And this
worry,
is-
I'm fighting in my brain. It's okay.
I'm gonna swap over to the blank screen, because snowiness is not really what's happening here.
No, it's like a spider's den, and we just need to set fire to the entire thing.
Isn't that the tactic with all spider-related things?
Yeah, burn it? Yeah. Except I don't
Alright.
have fire. Where's Marco's fireballs when you need them? Oh, what am I gonna do? Oh. I don't think it let me roll my initiative. I'll just roll 2D. Oh, did we lose him? Okay.
I think he blue screened again.
He installed that extra CPU and he still blue screened.
He's very still, if not.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. Alright. So 19 plus 5. So 24 would be my initiative.
Okay, sounds good. All right, just setting up a quick thing here.
What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
Okay. So yes, initiative.
Yeah. I'd rolled before, but I didn't have that figured.
And what was the what'd you get before your?
24.
Okay, you're first, anyways.
Okay. Well, am I like restrained right now?
You are. Yes.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put you over here, like you're against the wall, and she's over here about to slap you around.
Oh, I don't really want to get. Okay, I'm gonna.
This is just a placeholder for Cax because I was not expecting like a full-on combat, but
I wasn't going to fight her, and then the spontaneous me was like, "Nah, we're gonna fight her."
right. Okay.
Okay.
So yes, you are restrained.
Okay. I'm gonna try to break out of that, I guess.
Okay.
So is it just a strength save again?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, yes.
That'll do it. The giant paw coming down, you're able to rip yourself out of the way. You can go ahead and move if you like.
I think I have a feeling I actually want to run around behind her 40 feet. I'll do that. That was my actions. That's my movement.
Okay.
Bonus action, I guess. I'm pissed off. I'm gonna rage.
Okay. Interesting. You go to rage,
Oh, okay.
and usually this process involves you tapping into your bestial instinct as a Tommy, connecting with your bonded beast,
Mm-hmm.
and instead you are met with immediate resistance.
Oh.
You actually see like energy transfer attempted from your body reaching out to the body, and you see it like clash into a wall in front of Cax, and you feel it like push back against you. What do you do in this moment?
I guess we try to break that barrier somehow. I don't know, sheer force of will.
All right. Give me a. Oh, I hate to keep doing it to you, but it makes so much more sense in this context. It's this is a charisma push. You are forcing your will and personality against Cax's directly.
Okay.
Okay. Not bad.
I have no charisma modifier, so.
Okay, I rolled a 4. You feel it crack. That wall of will that you have to get through is lessened.
Okay.
But you are not raging yet.
Alright, okay.
And you hear her screech. Okay. Alright, her turn. She's going to turn around and attack you twice.
Okay.
But it's going to be at advantage because of the method of the attack. She swings her paw like around to hit you simultaneously, while an unconscious snake head behind flickers forward to try to bite you. Okay, first attack.
What is happening?
That'd be a 19 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, and that was at advantage. Oh, that'll be a 24 to hit.
That still hits.
Okay, second attack. That's that doesn't count. Okay, that's a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. So the snake strike coming back sinks its fangs into you. You take 6 points of piercing damage.
Right. Oh.
And 14 points of poison damage. And then the paw comes around to strike you. That's cocked. Shit, I rolled good. That's 22 bludgeoning damage.
Oh my gosh. Ow.
And once again, you are pushed backwards. Now that we're in actual combat, we're only going to make it a 10-foot push.
Okay.
Okay. Turns around, the head's kind of floppily swaying, and as you push back, the snake like unlatches from your clavicle, and once again just kind of like floppily drops to the floor.
Oh. Okay. Gosh, Aslan's like, this is not a fight I'm going to win, but I'm also stubborn. She's going to continue to try to push past this barrier that Cax has made.
Okay. Using your bonus action again to try to rage.
Yeah.
All right, roll that into that whatever check.
Charisma.
Actually, what is your approach to this now?
I think, I don't know, because this is one of those things that's like, she's a very physical person, so she deals with her problems physically, but she also knows this is not a fight she's winning physically at all right now. And so I think she's gonna keep trying the method that she's using, even though this is not her strong suit at all.
The dogs
She's
are
also,
snacking the monitors.
I think she's also at this point like thinking of an escape exit plan here, which I don't think she's gonna accomplish. But yeah.
Okay, so trying to find an exit strategy.
Yeah, an exit strategy while she's trying to do something else, which kind of results in her having to be in two places at once. Which...
Okay, what are you doing first?
She will try to push through the barrier first, and then she'll move further away.
Okay, same way as last time, just trying to impose your will through.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, it's actually this time you push through, and like she pushes back against you just slightly. There's
Okay.
a small amount of like the cracking that still lingers in the air as like this attempted energy connection moves forward and like spiderwebs out in like a glass fracture, and it slightly recedes as she wins this bout, but just barely.
Okay. And then I think Yaslin. Oh, just like this situation. Just gonna just. I think she can actually hit me from 10 feet away though. I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay. Got it. Her turn. She charges after you. Enraged. As like the claws extend from the lioness's paw, not just going for brute strength, but going for a cutting attack this time. Slashing down, and she's coming in for a maw bite as well. That's a natural 20.
That'll hit. I'll see you guys maybe later.
The other one, probably not. That was a natural 5.
That'll miss.
Okay. Alright, she swoops down and then like redirects her claw like at the last moment to become an uppercut. And about like these claws on her and her body is larger than it usually is right now. It's about a foot long on these claws, and they get you right into the gut, ripping up into your rib cage and lift you off the ground. And you were going to take...
Was that with disadvantage? Because she was dodging.
Oh. That 5 would have been at disadvantage. Okay, so here's the claw misses. That was so cool though. I feel like the claw.
You've got
awesome.
tail, Aslan.
Okay, second attack. That's a 19 to hit. That one's a little cocked. We're at 21 to hit.
Those will both hit.
Okay. Also awesome scene is she goes for like this claw swipe, Yaslin. You see that future possibility of this attack landing, and your dodge action allows you to like wait for the right timing. Like as the claw is coming in, you push off of it in like the last second as like you push away from it. And get over here, but it's not quite enough to avoid the other attack. And her very large mandibles come down. And they are, she's got you like pinned in between both of them. Not lifted off the ground, but you are like being bitten into.
Oh.
And that is going to be a different amount of damage.
Oh yeah, all this damage.
That's 10 points of mandibles.
Mandible
that are
damage.
broken. This is gonna be essentially bludgeoning damages. She's really just using kind of like the blunted part to crush your rib cage.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
And I am through. I can spread.
Yeah, no. No. I don't think so. I'm gonna find a way to stop you. And then she like thinks about it. She's like, I'm really glad I'm glad I called my grandfather, and he's hopefully bringing someone to, if need be, put me down. Because this is not good. She's going to try to this time, I guess she's gonna use, because she's now being kind of grabbed by these weird mandible things, so she's gonna grab them back, and she's just gonna try to break them even more.
Awesome. Roll me. This is straight muscle power as you like try to rip them backwards. Actually, tell me your approach to like how you want to damage them.
It is definitely just like pure muscle, like how one would like just like snap a branch or something. It's just
Okay, gotcha.
there's not much technique. It's all muscle.
Cool. You grab one of them and just start trying to crush. Give me an athletics check.
Okay. 25.
25. Okay. Kind of versus my Constitution saving throw. Ooh. Which is pretty good. So you just sit there and like crush, and you feel the carapace crack underneath your hands as you're just like pressing in on it, and some of the like that black purpley ichor just sprays through the cracks a little bit, like getting on your neck. And you crush in, and you do 6 points of bludgeoning damage. And that mandible definitely seems less viable. It is kind of, you could definitely feel like the power that it's crushing you with. That side is significantly weakened from you pulping some of the muscles inside of it.
Oh,
You-
good. And like,
You hear another screech.
and I think taking that window of like her being in pain, she's gonna try to take advantage and break through that barrier again. She's maybe a little distracted.
Sure, and I'll say what you just did, we reflavored it, but it was an attack, so you can use the second attack this turn as well.
Oh, okay. So I guess she'll try the other mandible
Okay,
and try to crush in that one too.
alright, go for it.
I'll just go for another athletics.
Ooh, wow, significantly worse. You've got it very distracted. 15 points. Crush in here. And this one, like, it's already a little bit weakened and loose, and press on the first one. The other one, like, you wrap your arm around and, like, kind of full Nelson grip it and just, like, flex your bicep, and this one straight up, like, presses in half and, like, just hangs limply afterwards. And it screams. You're still standing in front of it. It's not gripping you anymore.
Yeah.
But its already broken mandibles are frayed. And there are globs of this kind of black, sizzling ooze like falling out of its face. And you can see Cax's eyes just burning into yours. And her words are a little bit muddled. Love. I tire of this prey, and I will seek others. Okay, your bonus action?
I'm gonna try to regain my rage.
Okay, go for it. Oh, that was almost a minus. That was almost a natural one.
Yeah.
Okay. You win again. She's distracted. You've thoroughly pissed her off, and she's losing control a little bit. This time, not as strong as the first time, but that kind of glass patterning cracks further. It's getting weaker. You're not there yet.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Now that's my turn.
Okay. This time it's her go. And Yaslin, you're still standing in front of her. Like, if her
Yeah.
mandibles could lift properly and squeeze you, you would still be in the same spot. But that essentially means you're straight in front of her face.
Oh, no, I didn't think about that.
You see her throat open up, which is a very disturbing thing to think of, like a throat going directly into where like the lungs and chest would be. And you see green as a beam of acid ejects out of her mouth. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm good at these. I'm good at these. Uh, 20.
20. Okay, gotcha. All right. Who's with us? Sorry, one sec. Okay. Okay. That is 22 points of acid damage reduced down to 11 for your save. And you see it coming and it sprays onto you. You can feel it sizzling. And because your roll is so high, you essentially like roll into the dirt and like come up and like with like a handful of like the spider webbing and dirt and kind of neutralize and wipe the acid away and fling it onto the ground before it can continuously burn you.
Okay.
And now she's going to step forward and you just feel her eyes bear down on you. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
No. Oh, yes! Yaslin's dice have suddenly been cleansed.
Okay. Where is Yaslin at this time? What is she thinking?
She's thinking, like, very much in a stance of, like, Cax is a part of her that is a parasite and it's out of control, and she's essentially going to put them into submission. Put them in their place. Be like, yeah, this is where you are in the pecking order.
Okay. As you have this thought, as she tries to press down on you and you resist, you push back stronger than she could have imagined. Very different from the beginning of your entry here, when you decided that you weren't gonna win a fight in this realm. And you understood that that's when her predatory instincts kicked in, like fleeing prey. And now that prey has stood up. and she tries to suppress you with her being. And instead, you are a bulwark, completely unmoving. And the wall between you and the rage cracks further. It is almost a perfect semisphere surrounding her now, of webs, of like the cracked
Oh.
area.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay. Your turn, Yasmin.
I think realizing that when Kak said enough, that suddenly the tables had shifted in a way where she has this glimmer of, I could do this. She'll go in and she doesn't want to hurt the Chimera, so she's going to hit the part of her that she can, which I'm assuming she showed her mouth to, so she's gonna just hit her in the face.
Yeah, like you're still very close to
Yeah.
to her face.
She's gonna throw 2 punches.
Okay. Okay, a 20 will hit.
It's just, I think, a straight 5 damage.
Okay.
And the second punch.
Okay,
It'll also
25
just-
hits.
It'll also be just 5. And then she only has 1 rage left, so she's gonna burn her bonus action to see how much more she can break through.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that using the same approach.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and roll at advantage due to your natural 20.
Okay. Yeet.
Both are pretty good.
Johnson.
Okay. You feel a moment of weakness with her, and you push and strike, and all of this you see all of her frustrations coalesce almost physically, and those bright red eyes deepen into what looks like a bloody purple instead, with like a white yellow glow in the center. She matches you precisely.
Oh.
2 clashing, neither one yielding. Absolute stalemate in this moment.
Okay, okay. And that's my turn, that's my turn.
Okay.
This-
Alright. Her turn. Alright, this time, as she focuses on you, she controls 2 of the heads as they reach up limply. And the dragon opens its mouth as fire begins to emerge. Okay, need you to make another dexterity saving throw.
Okay. It's an 18.
Okay. I rolled pretty shitty. That is 23 reduced down to 11 for your save. As you dash out of the way, getting scalded on one side as the potent fire breath skims out. The lioness, no, not the lioness, the ram, its head raises up and just crashes down towards you. That's just a straight up attack. That'll be a 25 to hit.
That'll hit. Oh my gosh, what are these rolls?
I don't know, all over the place for both of us. Some great, some terrible.
Yeah.
Yaslin, I need you to also give me a strength saving throw. As you can feel yourself getting pushed down significantly. Woof! Okay. Chance to be prone on that did not happen. Oh, come on, dice. My dice is running away.
Oh, I know what I'm gonna do next turn. It's gonna be mean.
Okay, 11 more points. What is with the number 11? 11 more points of bludgeoning damage. As like the ram comes down, you manage to stay up, but essentially it's a head that's this big, headbutting your head. And you just barely manage to stay there, and like it comes away, and there's blood running straight down your face. Some meat. Maggot food. This would be so much easier. So much power. The ability to spread will across the planets and everything beyond. This is but the seed, the core that touches every other place, every other time. Aeon steals from all, and yet that makes it connected to all. A perfect place to begin invasion.
What do you mean, Aeon steals?
Can't you feel it? This world is a melting pot. Fragments, pieces, places, people. Stolen from their realities and forced into this makeshift arena. You imbibed that gave birth to me is already infecting everywhere else.
If I somehow created you, I'm going to find a way to destroy you.
You see one mandible twitch and the other one try to move in what looks like a horribly perverted and abused smile on a bug. Unlikely. Your power is weak. Your mind, weaker. A speck in the infinite, with no potential to grow beyond a speck, except with me. With me, you could be an avalanche, a tsunami sweeping across the many cosmos.
You want to destroy everything, and that's not the power I want.
I want to consume everything, to become everything, to absorb all what is, inject the weak, and set of it all, using their strengths to further my own. Is that not what you do as well? As she looks at the limp head. She looks at the limp heads next to her. Borrowing the power of this beast that you do not own yourself. This is all kind of happening as the two of them kind of circling and eyeing each other like boxers waiting to find an opening that they can take advantage of and go for the next strike.
Yeah. What I share with my chimera is more than just a one-way road. And it's been a growing experience. And you are greatly hindering that.
Have you not felt it? Can you not see it? My presence strengthens them.
What do you mean? They're unconscious! How does that strengthen them? You've, taken away their will.
Bigger. Potent. Fire burns deeper. Poison runs swifter. The horns break further. What they aspire to become, I have accelerated. That is my ability. To accelerate and consume everything in my brood is under my protection and efforts, and receives acceleration.
What's wrong?
He strives to find the strongest. Might make right and all of them.
How far away is this head from me?
You guys are probably kept about 10 to 15 paces away from each other. So about 10 to 15 feet.
Okay, when it comes my turn, I'm gonna try to run and like grab onto their head and just like stick my thumbs into a set of their eyes.
Got it. Did I actually do her turn yet?
Yeah, it was the fire breath and the ram.
Okay, got it. So now it's back to you. So Yazan, go ahead and make your attack.
Okay, just gonna run up here and do the old eye stab.
Okay, higher DC as you're going for a called target. They're essentially
Yeah.
under half cover.
Oh, that was.
That is
think that makes
not enough.
Alright, let's see if my other. Yeah,
Okay.
it makes purchase.
Just for narrative's
Oh,
sake.
yeah. Oh yeah,
Yep.
those are both the same.
Yep.
Both my hands miss.
Yep, you go up, and less of like a thumb gouge because the eyes are this big. More like an attempted like claw plunge,
Yeah.
and sees you coming. All four of the limbs drop down, and you're suddenly overexerted above her, and she gets underneath you. She's going to immediately turn that into her turn. Her turn.
Yeah.
To fling you across the cavern, or more precisely, up into the top of the cavern.
Ooh.
So give me. It's going to be her athletics check in an attempt to grapple you. You don't have a body position of strength to try to resist it with
Yeah.
strength. You can attempt a dexterity saving throw
Okay.
instead. But I am going to give her advantage on this because of your poor positioning.
Alright, alright. Would my danger sense work for this?
Yes, because it is a saving throw.
Okay.
Okay, 16. Alright, you see her trying to do that, and you essentially like roll over onto like the bad mandible and roll off as she like tries to lift you, and you just kind of cycle off the side. And in this case, now she, like as she does that, she continues the motion. The wings on her back flap, and she goes for like a two-handed, like a kangaroo-style kick with the two back legs as well.
Being bullied by
Okay, that is kind of low, actually. That is a 15 to hit.
That will miss.
Okay. Okay, and you two settle back down. Neither one of you like really getting purchased with either of your attacks that time. Cycling and circling around each other once more.
I am quite hurt.
Why do you seek power? What drives you to become more than this? Well,
I think everyone seeks power to a degree.
of course. Ask is why.
But I want to earn it.
So I just in my way.
But I don't agree with your way.
You don't have to.
I guess I'm going to burn my last bonus action to rage against her. It's an 18. You're doing good.
Dirty 20.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
See part of it reseal itself. As you can start to feel your control of the situation is waning.
Mm-hmm.
Cute. Let me guess. Protect your friend. Protect your maker. Run Bob around.
What do you know?
That road is easier with me. Those in my road are protected. No harm will come to them under my wings.
How can I trust that? How can I trust your word that you won't hurt my people or my friends?
You see a moment where she is genuinely enraged by the words. And she dashes up to you, face inches away from yours. You dare! You're a queen! What use does the strong have to lie to the weak? It's insulting. They say they will be protected. They would.
What do you want?
You see her sit back, haunches down, standing like a perverted sphinx, with her butt on the ground and her front legs fully extended. Release. Let me out. If you do it now, it's faster than doing it myself. That is time I can reclaim and accelerate. Well, I would become your guardian of death. As I grow, so does my brood, and those I protect will also feel the canopy of wings. Welcome to live their lives.
If I let you out, my friends will find out.
Simply tell them the truth. That you've gained a powerful memory to push them back against the pressures of the burden.
Let me go grab my dice real quick.
I'm gonna get some Gollum juice after this.
Like, oh no. Oh, oh Yaslin. Gonna make a bad decision today.
Bad guys with sense of logic. Do.
You have 24 hours. Or when I get my body back, you will be gone. Show me I can trust you.
Different than what I had in mind. But likely better. He comes down near face to face. I'll give you some company while I'm topside. And Yaslin, that connection that you have, that kind of bungee cord that you use to pull yourself out of this space when you talk to them,
Yeah.
snaps and cacks like a missile of shadow rips out of the Chimera's chest, kind of taking up that bungee and launching itself out. The Chimera falls over to its side, the horns of the ram hitting particularly hard against the floor and clanging out loudly. Guff, guff. And the hole where Cax resides wriggles and stretches as it begins to seal itself up. And the cavern is clean.
Don't know what I've done, guys, but I don't think it was good.
All decisions lead to interesting stories.
I'm taking it Yaslin is stuck in her little mind space.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, well, wonderful. I guess I'll be just checking up on my Chimera while Cax takes me for a joyride.
Yep. You go over, and as soon as like the last piece of the flesh stitches itself back together, the very deflated ribcage, you hear breath coming out of 4 sets of lungs and necks. And you begin
Right.
to see eyes flickering back open.
And I think she just kneels next to them and says, "I'm so sorry."
And that is where we will take our break. So, after all of that, it's breakfast time. The three of you remaining wind up in Passport's breakfast hall, which is, again, very similar to his workshop, is covered in snow. But as soon as you sit down, there are like little floating trays of food that come out and like sit down in front of you. And there's generally like an auto-populated large feast of breakfast goods, juices and meats and like a spread of biscuits. Basically, pretty good meal overall. And it's just the three of you. Even after an uncomfortable amount of time, even after like Seamus's normal amount of like I'm not there in the morning, that even starts to extend beyond its norm.
Does anyone see Seamus or Yaslin? We're missing.
Weren't,
Did they get lost in the moving tower?
weren't you with Yaslin last night?
No, we all went to our own rooms.
Well, I'm sure that
Yeah,
they'll
well,
show up
sure.
somewhere. Probably nothing to worry about. I mean, it's a whole big space. There's so much to see. There's just so much to see. I like it. I like it a lot. I'm like, what, 8 hours into being viciously sober for the next 24 hours?
Oh yeah, Heroes feast.
Viciously sober, yes.
Maybe we should go and find her.
Unintentionally, Joe's gonna like tap his ear and then remember he doesn't have the earring anymore. That is probably a good idea because I feel like if we don't find them, either something is going to be stolen or something is going to be broken.
Or it already has, and that's why they're not here.
Trying to look at the positive.
Well, do you think that maybe we could go find the owner of this fine establishment, and perhaps they have some magical spells that would allow them to locate people within this place?
That is probably a lot better approach than what I was planning.
Or we
You-
could just start at their bedrooms.
Do you know how to get to him?
Yes?
I was just gonna motion to lead the way, but he's just gonna stand there and watch Margot walk off.
We know how to get to the bedrooms, right?
Constantly changing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, there's no set map,
Yeah.
so
So Margaret, that's probably the first time like anybody's wondered like, hey, where do I go in this place? And you are immediately kind of like pinged with a mental map of what the structure currently is to reach that particular destination. So,
Are you coming? You doubt me?
She's just standing there. Can I roll insight to see if she actually knows? Just based off of her mood, I guess.
oh yeah, you can totally check.
24.
Seems highly confident for some reason.
Just look over at Warden. I guess it's just some thing magic users know?
I mean, I am very capable and do not get lost when it comes to being in the air or around elves. So, sure.
Particularly elves?
I mean, there's a few other humanoids that fall in there, but yes, normally
Does
elves.
drow count as half drow? Does that help you?
It's actually a great question. I'm unsure of this.
Yeah,
My
me
favorite
too.
enemy are elves, along with a
Oh,
few
this is
other
concerning.
people.
What?
Does a half elf count as favorite enemy elf?
They're functionally different species and races inside of D&D, so I'm gonna say no.
I didn't think so.
Interesting.
Um, well, as a half elf, no, I don't really fuck with those. But real elves, they I can find them, and I know all of their weak spots.
Well, Yasmin isn't an elf and she is this way. Actually, I don't know what Yasmin is. She's weird.
Right. So, is this something I should be walking around with my guns out for? Should I keep an eye out for any signs of like stuff gone wrong, or what? What do you want here?
Always best case scenario when you're with us.
Gonna finish
Right.
that?
Always best case scenario is.
Armed and ready.
Oh, okay. All right. It just kind of sounded like you just stopped right in the middle of that.
Rose gonna lean over to Warden and whisper, with the two women in this group, that's a very true statement. Just head hurts at this conversation, just begrudgingly follows Marco.
Warden
not-
will go ahead and take out his weapons and follow along.
Sounds good. Doesn't take you very long, just 2 or 3 minutes walking around until you reach what would have been Yaslin and Seamus's quarters for the night. First one, Seamus. The room is empty, tidy. There's some light boot prints on the ceiling. And there is inside of, on one circular table, there is a letter. But no Seamus.
Margot will walk over and start reading the letter out loud.
You, my dear soldiers, I'm moving on ahead to the Guild of Knowledge ahead of time. There's a clue that I need to look into. You'll be welcome, but it's unlikely that I'll be there when you arrive. Nora's been on my mind. And there's something that I want to do to try and help her. I'll continue doing as I do and recruiting assets and resources for the war against fire, and I'll be there when you need it. But for now, short departure. Signed, Seamus Black.
Does he normally do stuff like this? Well, the shrugging tells me probably not.
Gonna walk over to Margot and just take the note from her. And just kind of stare at it. Warden, the conversation we had, and he's gonna pause. I think for now, the information I told you of my past in fire travel, I think, similar to Seamus's goal right now. We had traveled with another individual, Nora. And I think their relationship was similar to Yaslin and I. And Jero's gonna turn to Marco and just hand her the letter.
Do you want to hold on to it? You knew him longer than I.
I think about it and I want to disagree, but as I look around of who's in this room, that isn't inaccurate. Yaslin and I are the last ones. And he's going to fold up the letter, open the bag of holding and place it in there. I think he'll just kind of stare at it and think, why Seamus had left and helping Nora, and also the conversation he had with Warden, and realize Warden knows the most out of all of Dro's situation with Yaslin, and Warden is a complete stranger. Well, I guess we may need to discuss what we plan on doing now.
Well, we should try and find Yaslin first, no?
That I will agree with.
Her room's over here.
Before we leave, can I do a quick just once over to see if there was anything else Seamus left? You're muted, but I think you said perception check.
I was doing so well, I thought I even had like some bonus points because I called Margot out on it. Jeez.
Dirty 20.
Nothing else. Just the letter.
Margo, since you seem to know the way around, lead the way.
It's not that hard. I thought you were more observant than I. You are the monk after all, but here, he's over here.
Margot, you're a little quiet for me.
Oh.
I think when Margot goes to take a step after making that comment, Joe's just gonna stick his foot out.
Are you trying to trip me? Should I roll a dexterity save?
I think he blue screened again.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
no,
no.
he didn't. He's just. Am I super quiet for you guys too?
No. At least not for me.
No, you sound pretty normal.
And yeah, like I said, I don't have my headphones, so I've had to like bump everybody up, and like everybody's at max, and
I'll talk louder.
Oh dear.
yeah, still having a harder time hearing Margot of everybody.
Should she have to roll a dex save because Joe's trying to
Trying
trip
to
her?
trip me.
Oh, missed that. Yes, please.
Oh. Oof.
Yep. Trip successful.
Just look down. Yes, I am the
Are you
observant
proud
one.
of yourself?
Just starts, puts his hand up to help her up.
Mhm.
Of course.
Warden's eyebrows furrow as he watches the scene unplay before him.
Yeah, as he helps her up, she's going to cast prestidigitation and then just turn and walk away, but she's prestidigitating like bright glitter on Joe's cheeks. And it lasts for an hour.
Alright.
Just
We had a long
go to
rest, right?
Yaslin's room. We did long rest.
Okay. Oh, can I mess with Margot?
PvP, PvP.
Petty
PP with glitter bomb.
Margot already got face to face with the monk. It didn't end well.
Okay. You guys get over to Yoplin's room next.
Nose whistle.
And give me an investigation check.
I'm gonna use guidance.
Good.
If I can find investigation.
What a great start.
21.
Okay. Margot and Warden, you're both just like, another empty room? What the hell? Dro, you are the one that is most connected to Yaslin. And you look around, notice her absence. She is not one to miss breakfast.
What about second?
You've got the feeling that something's off. And as you look around, the only thing you can notice is that her bed is damp in kind of a circle. Like she went and sat and meditated, checked in with herself like you've seen herself do before. And for whatever reason, that caused her to sweat a lot.
Oh, I thought she just peed the bed.
That's what I was thinking. Don't soil yourself.
She
just breakfast.
She's pissed the bed.
She's embarrassed.
And then, as best you can tell from very, very faint directional pressing in like the carpet or like the rugs that are in the room, she left. Just simply and quietly left.
just stand there and stare. She's gone.
Did she go with Seamus?
Just stares at that spot. Margot, I don't think she's her again.
Then we need to find her. Quickly.
Warden raises one of his 4 hands and he goes, "Does she have something similar to you, in which there is a possession that stops her from being herself again? And also, is this really common in this group? Should I start looking out for ghosts?"
Did she tell him about our tree? Has she told Warden?
No,
about
he
it?
doesn't know anything about your tree.
Oh, you're talking about Dro and Echo.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Not exactly. It's a long story, but short come of it, we were exposed to some very powerful magic, and it affected some of us. And as of right now, you just see the back of Dro, but you've noticed he's wearing a headband the whole time. And as he's talking, you watch him start to untie it. Yaslind was similar to myself, had a hitchhiker. And the plan was, and I don't think she had spoken to the rest of you, but for us to go back to her home where her people could help. And along with her, I was also affected, and at this point I'm turning around, and in the center of my forehead is a third eye. I got
don't think
more
that was
lucky.
there the first time.
Mm.
That's not healthy, I would assume.
It's a work in progress figuring out. Then start to tie it back up. I would hope you would keep this between the group, and there's not many people know of this. And not many people know of Yaslin's condition, and I would hope you would also keep that a secret.
I don't even know what the hell is happening on your forehead in the first place. If that's supposed to be there, if that's a magical thing, and that's like the magical inflicted your face and it gave you that, her infliction too. Sure, I mean, I'm keeping everyone's secrets. That's fine. It's just you all have a lot going on, and this is very uncommon for people who hire me. Most of the times they're like, "Hey, hello, I'd like to go from here to here." And that's okay, because everyone has a lot going on. I know this myself because I have a lot going on myself, but it's just there's a lot of things that seem to just get revealed, and everyone's like, "Oh yes, we'll just keep going along." And Warden over here is going, "What the hell?" I've never met such an interesting
Trigger?
array of individuals.
We should find her before she causes any problems.
Yeah, Dro hasn't really broke sight of that spot. You think, the professor, whatever, he has a way to find her?
Perhaps. I mean, he's powerful, but I don't know if he has that skill. He has plenty of people in his employ who should.
Besides that spot, Morgan, is there anything else in the room I can clock that was left?
I missed the last two words. They can clock what?
If there was anything else left.
Yeah, her like axe and her bag are like still in the room. Like anything that she had on her that she normally would, she took off, sat down, started meditating, left.
Dro's gonna walk up and grab the stuff that's on the ground. Then I think just turn back. Let's just walk out of the room.
Margot, a quick question, real quick. Quickly. Has anyone in this group sought a priest to perform an exorcism?
Why would we need exorc? What? Why?
Just, possessions and whatnot.
Possessions
I've never
are
really.
not the same. You don't understand the nature of the souls within the party here.
No,
It's
I
different than a
I
priest
work
can
with
do.
machines. not
Uh,
not this.
Let me trust me when I say it is outside the realms of a priest. We are, I fear, too corrupted.
Oh shit.
But it's
All right, well, follow the leader, I suppose. And Warden's gonna jaunt out of the room.
yeah. I'm gonna go with them to find Hasport.
Okay. So he's locating Hasport and getting away to track down Yaslin. That's such a pretty egg. Or a marshmallow?
It's a fishball.
Okay. You were eating ramen, and then you had a marshmallow in your soup spoon. Let me question things.
Yeah, no, it's a fishball.
Gotcha. Okay, so the intention for the moment is find Yaslin through Hasport.
Yep.
It's easy enough to do. You find a Hasport is still there as it's fairly early morning, and he hasn't like wandered off into some portion of secluded section of his tower. He is able to call one of his employees, and you guys get a scrying spell going. Yaslin, roll me a d100.
Okay.
There's a few options of how Cax would proceed with all this.
A 63.
Okay. The person doing the scrying, after you describe her, give her minor illusions so she knows what to attach to. She's still in the city, but this is very, very weird. Why is she surrounded by fire?
You said fire.
Yeah, fire, like the stuff that burns, like the opposite of everything.
Yeah, I
on
thought I
fire.
heard you say 5.
Is,
Oh,
it,
no,
is there
no
fire
fire.
in
Like,
the city where there's a lot of fire?
no. I mean, unless she jumped into a tavern's oven or something.
Does the fire appear to be? Can you see, like, is it manipulated magically? Is it controlled?
I am just seeing a lot of it. And, like, it's all in the background. And some. Scrying is not always a perfect. It's not a perfect magic. Sometimes some things come in very blurry or muffled. And there's fire, and there's screaming, and she's fighting.
Can you get us there? Can someone get us there?
Yeah, it's over in the tavern district.
Okay, let's fix this, she's saying, motioning to Dro, so that we can go save her.
Girl, you have no idea what she's talking about. Just like, there's something in my teeth.
I don't think Dro's paying attention to Margot because he just heard she's surrounded by fire.
Fire,
fire,
fire.
Change your appearance so that we can go and not get into another fight with the guards.
What should I look like?
Not you.
You can choose what you look like.
Yes.
Look like me.
He can't create those additional arms.
Oh. Well, can you make stumps? You say they were ripped
Problem is,
off or something.
it's illusion, so like anything would pass through and break the illusion. He has to be as close to his natural form, as
Okay.
far as I understand it.
I'm not much of a magic person myself. I don't know. Look like a dwarf or something.
I don't know that it matters so much as long as you don't look like you and we go to Yaslin now.
Dro just still shocked, tries to come up with the disguise, and the best he comes up with is he basically goes full human with black hair down to his shoulders, and that's it. He doesn't get real creative with it.
That is perfect. I'm gonna turn back to the lady who was helping with us. Now, we need to go. How many temporary hit points did we have, by the way? Because my character resets literally every time I log in.
You just went through a long rest, so you should be full.
Yeah, but we have those hit points from Heroes Feast that last 24 hours.
And
To the
no,
max?
that's paid.
Yeah, I still have 10 on me for some reason.
The
Probably
age should have
from
faded
here.
by now.
Okay.
But we did Heroes Feast, so there should have been something. See if it was rolled.
I forgot about the water elemental.
See that it was rolled here. I think you rolled it physically. That's fine. You're muted, Morgan.
You're muted.
You're still muted.
Well, that's not helpful. Okay, you guys rush out of there, and you are kind of whisked away and given direction by this scryer who takes you into the middle of an area inside of the, and you can see it coming from a long ways away. There is smoke, there is fire. Essentially in a large ring around the town, or at least around a few buildings.
Oh my.
There are people who are screaming, trying to put the fire out, people trying to make it all stop, and it's not working. You guys rush up to the wall of flame, and all you can see as you peer through it is two figures inside.
It's your buddy. It's your buddies. Grand champions.
Go figure.
Mm-hmm. I'm guessing this is a magical wall of fire.
Yes, it is.
There is a.
I'm confused why I have a spell on D&D Beyond but not on here.
What was that, Joe?
I have a spell in D&D Beyond in my spellbook, but when I look in Foundry, I don't see it.
Shoot it to me.
It says it came from the Paladin.
Can I dispel magic on the wall of fire?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll your d20.
It's an Arcana check, right?
Yes, it is. I believe it's 10 plus the level of the spell.
Yeah, so I need to roll a 14 or higher. Definitely work.
Woof. All right.
3.
Okay, and apologies, guys. I don't have this set up because I wasn't sure where Yaslin was going to be, or where. Yeah, I said that right. Well, really, where not Yaslin was going to be.
Sorry.
23. Margot, you reach out your hands and just like feel the magic creating this undulating heat, and feel your fingers sink into the arcane weave of it and just rip it apart. And in like a big, like circular motion, it goes, like dies out like a fuse, leaving a dark, smoky trail around the entire outside. And inside, you see the only thing that's remaining is Yaslin gripping a person by the neck. And she looks back at you, and her eyes are very deep red. And she turns back, and the body in her clutches. And also you see mandibles and antenna and like wings and like a hardened carapace. It's Yaslin, but she looks like, of all the forms you've ever seen her take, all of them look like a red insect. And you see all of that begin to pull away kind of from the bottoms of her feet and like the small of her back. It's almost as all of that rushes forward, shunts down her arm, and then perfect insectoid claw pinches into the neck. And the body in her hand explodes in a torrent of massive flame. And Yaslin's body is ragdoll thrown across the square, just slamming and like back first into an overhang that holds up like a tent or like a drape in front of a shop or one of the taverns, and it all just kind of collapses around her. And the body in the middle of this now burned circle is just lying on the ground in this cone of flame that does not seem to be petering out.
Is there any bystanders around her?
Tons.
Tons?
Some of them are just happy that the wall of flame is gone and that they can try to run away. Others are trying to rush in to help people. This is getting the attention level of like a town fire, because basically it is.
Can I take a look to see if there might be any other interesting individuals within this crowd?
Yes, give me a perception check.
Jesus, Yaslin.
Sorry.
21.
When Yasmin
You
goes
did.
ham, she goes ham.
Okay, you see there's like a fiery dog that's kind of like hiding in the corner and like smoke and shadow, and it locks eyes on you as you see it, and it fades into dark.
One of my
You
hands is
see-
just gonna raise up.
You also see, and you can kind of track about 3 different individuals. 2 of them that are like gobsmacked, and one of them looks like it just kind of arrived. All of them have either the colors that resemble fire or actual fire like emanating off their body. One of them, the one that arrived later, Dro, give me a perception check.
Yeah, there it is. Oh. No.
You don't really see it in this crowd, but Warden, it's this kind of like deep mustard yellow hood with black goggles and flames underneath them.
Alright, we're gonna go for the headshot.
Go for it.
We'll go ahead and shoot them before they start shooting us. I'll initiate the combat. Fuck talking.
All right.
Now I just gotta remember. Can I change my description on this? Oh, I can. Wonderful. Because I named my weapons, and now I never remember which one's the rifle and which ones are the pistols. And that one's on me. I'm gonna fix that in just a second when I figure that out. Okay. Give me a second. That's
While
my
he's
map
doing
stuff.
that, can the figure on the ground is like it looks still like dead, or like it just blasted her away and it's waiting for her to attack again?
Muted.
You muted.
Started strong and now just like getting worse and worse and worse. What was that last part?
The figure on the ground that blasted her away, is it like dead? Did it blast her away dead, or is that person alive? With a pillar of flame coming out of it.
Flame is still going. But the figure is unmoving.
I want to use another dispel. That's another third level spell.
Warden, did you give me an attack?
Not yet.
Okay.
I am fixing this so that way it says which ones are which. And next, it has my dice rolls wrong for my sniper. Does it?
How close is the figure that's on the ground now?
Is about 40 or 50 feet away from you guys. It was a giant flame circle.
I take it Yaslin's closer than we are.
Yeah.
Here we go. There should be. Okay, and now we delete this one. Yay! Inventory's fixed. Alright. We do the attack roll. The attack roll is an 18 to hit.
Yeah, that'll hit.
Alright. And then the damage roll. You must roll the attack before rolling damage. Fuck you! I did.
You don't have anybody to target.
Alright, well, I know how to do this myself. It is 2d8 plus she. Plus 3. Alright, that is a 14.
Woo! If I haven't already shared this view with you. There's a loud crack as Warden's gun fires off, and there's a few more people that shout and scream in additional panic being added to the situation. And a bullet of condensed air. See it smacking straight in the face. It comes back, and one of the goggles is fully missing. Like white liquid heat runs down his face and begins to burn the clothing that he's wearing. And you see his face revealed in a portion of it, the mask partially broken.
Warden's gonna go ahead and say, you'll notice that there might be a couple of fire people running around right there, and right there. Also, Yaslin is over there, and she looks like she's not doing well. I just about shot her in the face too, because, you know, clearly something's not right with her. With that being said, I'm going to shoot the people that are on fire first, and then I'm going to shoot her. So we should figure out what's wrong with her before I start shooting her too.
Don't shoot her. Don't shoot her. I'm gonna run towards Yaslin.
Okay. Warden, you see the two people the two flame people that were there first, and they see you shoot out. they begin to rush ahead. And the one that you shot reaches out, and like two tethers of fire like lance out and like wrap around their necks. And you just kind of hear a little too loudly for the chaos of the situation, the noise level. This is not the right time. We'll be back. And like he turns around and like yanks them and drags them like by their throat as they're like kicking on the ground, and like begins to walk off as he too like turns back and flicks his fingers. And there's another wall of flame that cuts off the visual.
Warden's gonna go ahead and lower his rifle, and he's gonna say, "Well, champion, now is the time to use any water that you might have."
I've ran to Yaslin already, so I don't know what's happening with that.
Dro's gonna
Like-
snap and cast Create Water. In a 30-foot cube, it rains. What does this say? Water falls as rain in a 30-foot cube, extinguishing exposed flames in the area. I don't know where the template would go. Wherever the flame is, so just try to cover it all. But I think Dro is stuck looking at Yaslin, and then attention now to the person Warden just shot and connecting the dots is 3 people. That is his polar opposites. And I think there's a slight hesitation, but Dro follows behind Margot to Yaslin.
Okay. You summon your wall. You summon your create water, and it falls down, and it kind of diminishes the wall. You start to see through it a little bit, as you see one goggle still on the good side of his face. Look back directly at you, Dro. Interesting.
I think Dro makes it a point to turn his back so this guy sees the sword as he's running towards Yaslin.
Very interesting. And he turns back. Your create water is a 1st level spell versus a 4th level spell, so it's only able to dampen the wall for a moment before it begins to roar back up.
Is there people inside with us, like civilians?
Yes.
Okay, so the hope, ideally,
Looking around, there's probably about, doing a very quick look, there's probably about 15 civilians that are hurt, several that might be dead, and there's plenty of people that are rushing in to try to help.
so just hoping that water gave people time either to get in or get out, whatever they need to do. I know it's not going to do a whole lot, but if people are burning, at least maybe it'll put some burns out, whatever it can do.
To get the effect that you're looking for, you're going to need about 2 or 3 spell casts of your created water to dampen the flames. The magical flames are one thing, but the magical flames have definitely caught other things on fire, and they are burning naturally now. Because that's a 30-foot sphere. We're talking about kind of a town square-ish thing. It's like it's an area between a bunch of the taverns that has a lot of events and whatnot. And so we're talking about probably like 120-foot radius.
Man, do I miss Dolphin right now?
No.
Right? Where's the tsunami when you need him?
I don't know if I can afford to blow more spell slots right off the bat.
So, I'm gonna jump into action here.
Did anything
So-
happen with Yaslin yet?
Yeah, how am I doing?
Because I ran over to her before even got
Buried under, I think, a shop front or something.
Okay, so Warden, what did you say? You're jumping into what kind of action?
I was saying I was jumping into action, but I don't want to step over Margot since she did run over before we did shit.
Yeah, Margaret, you said you moved first, and you begin to like pull rubble. Give me an athletics check. Or no, this is just a strength check.
So, what do I see though? Is she like buried under a shop? Like,
She's buried under the front portion of a shop. Yeah.
I don't see her at all in it.
You see like a knee sticking out, and like the associated ankle with that knee is angled at like a weird spot.
Oh.
You also see like a shoulder that is very clearly dislocated underneath a bunch of rubble.
You can't move that. You can only crush things with that. Okay.
I cast Fireball.
Very concerned on what this spell is. You can only crush things with it.
Being a little metagaming,
Minus
that's
one on
actually
strength.
that's actually not a bad idea to cast Fireball that changes elemental property.
I mean, I could, but it still does the damage, and there's civilians in the area, so I'd still do like 8d6 cold damage instead of fire damage. I could put out the fires. I'd probably kill a lot of people doing that, though.
I would say you could cast Water Ball high and have it explode in the air and have the water fall. Because the water is a little bit more tangible than fire is, and it still has a physical presence when it's conjured. But with a 5, whopping 5,
Yeah.
as Margot's a little panicky, she begins grabbing.
Well, I have a
rocks.
-1 strength.
What was that?
I said I have a -1 strength. I didn't think I was gonna do a strength check.
Yeah, you start grabbing what you can.
Can I
and,
have
like,
this
trying to
instead of
unbury
can I
yourself.
do a medicine check instead? Because I'm trying to see like what's going on with her. If she's like gone feral, I kind of want her buried under a building until we figure it out, right? Like,
Sure, you can do that. You can take this moment to observe
Would it be-
instead. So go ahead and give me a medicine check.
would it be insight? Because we're trying to see if she's gone feral. I'm trying to think of the
You
actual.
you don't have any visibility on anything except for like a knee, an ankle, and an arm. So
I have something stupid I could do.
Don't do that. Do not. No. No.
we don't have enough stupid in this episode.
I mean, I made
Excuse me?
go for it. You know. What's the worst that could happen? You know, we have a tea party inside my head.
I'm gonna say to lock first. If I go inside, if I go in her head, can you come with me?
That's not really how it works. I'm inside of you, and if you leave, that's you exiting the house while I'm stuck inside.
I was hoping for kaiju battle inside her mind, but
If we get a fight with her someday, it'll be body versus body.
that's not great. Okay. I guess Because medicine's not going to really tell me anything about her mental state.
Mental
Say I
state?
try to take her out.
No. Physical state? Possibly.
Yeah.
Whether she's conscious or unconscious. Oh.
We can just say she struggles to dig her out, and Dolphin, holy shit, Warden can do whatever he was going to do.
Well, I was planning on doing a bunch of random bullshit, and it might take a while to do it.
I don't know if I can dig her out with a 5.
That's fair.
Do,
So there are...
I was just gonna say, do we run past the individual that blasted Yaslin away? Like their body? If we're running towards Yaslin?
So, let me see. Can I do something?
Maybe. You have to roll a d20, and we'll let you know if you can do it or not.
Right. This might suck later. There we go.
Oh.
So, oh, it's temporary. Oh, nope, it's repeating. Cool. There's still fire happening a ways away.
Can I do something instead to get her out?
Like what?
Can I lightning lure her to get her out? Because she can't save because she's unconscious, so I just rip her out.
Is she unconscious though?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't
I
think
might
that's
just be,
gonna knock her out.
I might just be waiting for somebody to get real close so I can frickin' bust them down.
You can try. Go ahead and roll an Arcana check to try to ignore the rubble while targeting her in something that you can't see. This is a not a normal setup that you've got going on here. An 18. Sure, that'll work. Yeah, like you target Yaslin's body as it yanks out from underneath and flies towards you, and you are essentially tackled by an unconscious Yaslin. And like she flies out and like she's coming straight towards you. She doesn't have any ability to stop herself, and and like suddenly you are flattened on the ground with Yaslin on top of you.
On the way over there, Morgan, Joe's gonna run by the body if he can and just try to cast Spare the Dying. Not even check if it worked, but if he's not if they're not moving.
Okay. Alright, you are able to get over to her.
Don't wake her up. Whatever you do, just... maybe stabilize her, but don't wake her up. Not until we're back at the keep or the towers.
Can... I don't know if this is gonna work. Now that she's out from the building looking at her, can I roll an insight if it's actually her?
Yes.
Ooh, do I want to use the eye?
Whip it out in public?
I know.
No, God.
That gets you put on a list.
I'm gonna cast guidance instead.
I wonder if it could even be seen through your illusion, though, because you have the mask of many faces on.
I don't want to risk it. That's a 27 still, though.
You
27.
need to risk it. Holy shit.
What you read is that that is one unconscious person. Like, Yaslin is full ragdolling. And you imagine if you hadn't cast Spare the Dying, she probably wouldn't, like, she'd be in a bad spot. And as you look for that, if that's really her, your high level of personal instinct is something that pulls the back of your head. And you're slowly drawn to look at this perpetual cone of fire. As you look back, you see something rising up in the center of the flames
Uh-oh.
and looking directly back at you.
Shoot it.
And
Fire.
you are instinctually greeted, and everything lines up like what literally Yaslin has told you about something is wrong with her. You see it in person. Shivers immediately run down your spine. As in the middle of the flames. Nope. Not passport. I thought I changed the token.
He was a bad guy all along.
Betrayal!
Yes, it's obvious the mage that lives in a giant cold frozen tower really likes to burn everything.
The pyromaniac all along!
I'd have it no other way. So anyways, I started blasting.
Let's try this.
Does Yaslin look like
That's
Yaslin now? Or she still got
mean-
the bug features?
She looks like Yaslin if Yaslin was an overcooked hamburger patty.
Okay.
Oh, buddy.
I look. What? Oh
What
my
the
lord, that was inside me!
What did you do?
Ew.
What did you do?
What did you do?
I thought Margot made the worst choice. I'm regretting that now.
I think I've made an oopsie is what I did.
This is something from like Diablo the game.
You see
Alright,
standing in the
public.
fire, rather calm and still. The center body is calm, but there's also like fiery little explosions that are happening all over it. And every time it does, there's like a new insectoid flaming arm that bursts out and is retracted back in. This happens for a moment until the flaming cone disappears, and deleting audio.
Alright, unleashed a monster.
I don't know how to get rid of this thing.
The flames.
Okay, the fire's gone. And you see it, like, just standing there. Ripples of heat coming off of it. one less problem for you to deal with. I'll see you around. As it like crouches, 3 more legs kind of explode from its hips and like sink into the ground, reaching and crouching low, and it leaps up into the air with fiery streak behind it. And then again, as it reaches about 40, 50, 60 feet up, it leaps again sideways as there's another fiery concussion in the air, and it bolts off into another direction. And you lose sight of it. Dro, give me a survival check.
$17.
Somewhere southeast, probably, is the direction it just launched off to, across the lake.
So out of the city.
Probably. You're only 200 meters from the water.
Southeast, you said, towards the forest?
Maybe.
Okay. Tro's not even thinking. He's pulling a healing potion out, ignoring everything Margot just said, and giving Yaslin the healing potion.
Roll a healing.
Warren's gonna dash forward to the walls of fire. He's going to take apart his rifle, and he is going to start shooting both of his pistols at the fire. Since they shoot out bursts of air, the hope is that, you know, some of the air might be able to push some of the fire away. And since one of them shoots forward in a concussive blast, the other one shoots downward. He's hoping that he can essentially shoot the fire away and then smother it on the ground and just repeatedly do this as much as he can.
Sure. Give me just a dexterity check here.
I had so many other ideas in my mind, then I was like, we'll shoot it.
Sure.
Tro is 6.4 feet away and has to be fun. Oh my god.
To heal.
Yes.
Just get a little closer.
That was so dumb.
6.4 feet away.
Just a foot off.
It's not bad.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Awesome, really relax. He has him except he stabs him in the heart.
Woken the banshee.
My inventory's all messed up.
I didn't do that.
Yaslin,
Yeah.
9 health points. You pop back awake.
I'm at 9 HP, aren't I?
Yep.
Alright, let's fix that. I think, like, all she registers is pain, and so she just, like, lays there. And then like lets out a groan.
Very heavy. Can you get off of me?
Can you like give me a second? I think I've broken like every bone in my body.
It looks like it, yes.
Dro, what's your mindset right now?
Protect Yaslan. I don't think his attention, even though the city is burning, he's watching Yaslan.
I'm gonna crawl up from under Yaslan and do the transmute fireball to help. Fuck, I keep calling you Dolphin. Why? Warden, put out the fires!
Yep.
Whatever your name is. It's transmute.
I think once Margot moves, if Yaslan's still laying there, I think Dro tries to prop her up onto like his lap or something to get her up.
She doesn't want to move. She's in pain.
From
Can I actually?
nearby, you hear a kind of liquid, firm voice. Well, if you've broken all your bones, they'll be easy to transport as you won't resist.
Excuse me?
As a bunch of Twilight Watch soldiers start to arrive on the scene. It's good to finally meet you, Joel.
That's who I think it is.
As a woman, unlike the rest of the Twilight Watch, who have some version of white or monochrome garb, this woman's is red, with only a slight silver lacing on the shoulders and throughout. Tiefling with what looks like cracks running along her face. You've been on my list for quite a long time.
Warden's gonna stop firing and
Who the
dash over
fuck
to
are
this
you?
group. And as in a polite, as politely as he can say, with how sober he is, I couldn't help but overhear just the slightest bit of your conversation, which was very quick and rapid. I just want to let you know, the city's still burning, and the people still need your help, so you can do whatever it is you need to do when it comes to arresting people, but Champion, you need to help me, and Lady, you should go help other people. And then Warden is going to dash back away and do what he can to help people out of the fire.
Dro's gonna look up at this figure and drop the disguise. Let me save my home before you do anything. And he starts to walk.
There are a slew of guards that are running forward, and mages of all sorts. Like, as this is happening, her people are joining Warden and all the others in, like, helping to protect the town and get this settled as fast as possible. And she's the only one sitting there focusing on you.
Dro's just gonna start to walk up to her and to walk by and looks at all the fires after he says, "Let me save my city." And he's going to look to Margot and then motion back to Yaslin. Stay with her.
Fine, I'm not going anywhere.
And before the lady gives him permission, Dro is looking up at the fire and casting Great Water. And putting out the nearby flames.
As you move forward and start doing that and everybody else is helping, she keeps pace with you. About 20 feet away for wherever you go, she moves to.
Dro will just not mind her at all and focus. His primary goal is putting these fires out and saving his home.
Is anyone paying attention to Yaslin and I right now?
Oh yeah, you've got about 4 guards or so just bearing over the two of you.
How bad's the damage?
And as she's watching Dro, she begins to raise her hand up and move her arms, and she's rapid fire casting control flames and bringing them all down. It's about 3 or 4 minutes later that between the combined efforts of everyone, the flames have subsided.
Yaslin, you look really bad. Why did you leave?
What do I most remember? That conversation I had inside?
Last thing you remember is talking to your Chimera,
Okay.
and felt like only a few moments inside there. Them describing feeling hollow, like they had nothing inside them to move. And that they were feeling very weak. And then you were drinking a health potion, and your body was contorted into so many bad positions unwillingly. And staring up the lanterns, the few lanterns that remain in this vicinity.
I might have made a mistake.
Appears you may all now be under arrest.
Wonderful.
I don't know if it would be wise for one of us to get away.
You say that again, Marco?
It's not me.
I said I won't. Don't think it. I don't remember what I said exactly. Something about would it be smart enough for one of us to get away?
It's not gonna be me.
We could go together, or one could. I don't know of how prison breaks work with all of
Are
us
you
inside.
Are you serious? I can't move my arm, and I think I broke my leg. I'm not really gonna go anywhere.
Yaslin, you look down at your. I definitely broke my leg.
That is a broken leg.
Uh-huh.
I'm not
How
moving.
close? How close is the nearest alley?
How close is the nearest tavern?
Alley.
Alley? They're all over the place, maybe 15 feet.
And how attentive are our 4 guards?
So attentive.
They're allowing you to whisper, but they are staring. They are like, with your passive insight, you understand that they are forcing out the rest of things, and they are locked onto you. The screams and the chaos around them That's not their duty. You are their duty.
They definitely see if I cast a spell.
No.
They definitely stop me if I try to cast something.
Don't.
Or they try.
What if you don't do something dumb, Margot?
Okay, but if we're all arrested, then who's going to break us out?
Who has my... Where's my stuff?
It's in the bag of holding that will be confiscated when we are arrested.
Fuck. Okay. You said you had like some weird diplomatic card of immunity.
I could try to play that, but I don't know how well it will work.
Listen,
let's-
I know I'm pretty much considered a very bad person, I think.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna rustle through my bag and I'll be right back. Yes, stand
There
up
you
and face
go.
the guards. I'm just standing up. Just
Okay.
standing up. Face the
Okay.
guards. Who's in charge? Clearly not the four of you. You're not bright enough to be. Who's the real
As
master?
As you turn around, there's a blade at your throat.
Hey, put that down. Come on now.
Reveal your hands slowly.
I pull out the paperwork identifying me as a Empire agent.
While that happens, can I try to relocate my arm?
Pop it back in.
Give me a
In the
constitution
background?
Oh,
Give me Constitution check.
Yeah, constitution check.
Alright.
wow.
Yes, Lynn's like, this is the first time I've had to relocate a limb.
You just sitting back there like,
Yeah, you just hear-
While you're at it, you reach down. It is a compound fracture, easy.
Ah.
And yeah, oh well. Shove, set, crack.
Ah! I like, ugh. Give it a good little circle real slow. I'm like, oh, that's gonna hurt. That's gonna leave a bruise. I don't think I can fix this leg though.
As soon as the chaos is contained, Captain Bloodthorn will speak to you. She'll take care of your paperwork.
you know, we put out most of these fires before you got here. Why are we being arrested for helping?
The captain will speak to you shortly. And you can easily see that, like, he's just like, nope, like, I'm not talking to you, but panning back over to Dro.
I don't wanna.
Some time passes. Yaslin's in a feeble pile.
I'm doing a little better.
Margot continues to try to argue with guards that are like full stonewalling her. And the woman in red turns to you, Dro, says, "Now why, as a known murderer, trying to save the lives of my citizens?" We have much to discuss.
Yes, we do. And if I ask the group that you saw me with, leave them be.
You're all under arrest.
I understand my reason, but what is theirs?
At the moment, possibly conspiracy for arson, aiding and abetting a traitor and murderer, criminal, and fleeing from the city guard, resisting arrest. To name a few.
We do have quite a bit to talk about.
Do you resist?
How far away from the group are we?
40, 50 feet away from Yaslin and Margot, 30 feet away from Warden.
I'm just gonna glance over at him and just put his hands up.
That part at least makes everything easy. She reaches into her bag of holding and pulls out manacles that have runes on them. Clasps them around your wrists.
These the same ones Dro saw in the individual on the train?
Yes. The rest of you are similarly approached with shackles. None of them are forcing them on you. They're sitting there with them, waiting to be accepted.
You think I could get into contact with my people before you put those on me?
I've heard it in other cultures that some are allowed a single phone call.
I don't know if that's allowed in mine, but I'm going to say, in this scenario, what's just happened, I would like one.
You're not exactly helping your cause for a phone call. I'm going to put these on you now.
Yeah, it's just, I think the phone call is really important.
We'll have time to discuss your options if there are any. Click, click, in Yaslin as you try to, test them in your weakened
Definitely! I'm like, ow! Even as I'm, sore and hurting, I'm like, ding, ding!
Yep, and these things are not connected by a chain. It is a solid piece of metal,
Oh!
approximately like that shape between the cuffs. And it is kind of brassy with a blue shimmer on the top of it, and there are definitely runes inscribed into the metal. Margot and Warden, Warden, they pull out 2 sets of shackles for you.
Warden is not going to accept that. He is going to say, I hope you do realize that I'm not guilty of anything, and the only thing I've done here is help save people. I should not be arrested, because I've done nothing wrong.
The woman in red comes up with Dro a few feet behind her. If that is true, the evidence will point to that, and you will be absolved. But in this moment, you are the ally of the instigator of pandemonium, frankly. You are currently guilty by association.
And why do you think that it is... probably one of these two, he says, pointing to Yaslin or Dro. Why do you think that it is one of these two who instigated this?
She was in the flames. So the
Right.
reports say.
There were 3 other people also in the flames.
And we are searching for
They went that way, he says, pointing down the road.
quite. That is where we have sent our people to go find it.
Then you're currently after the wrong people.
You
Or rather, you have the wrong people in custody.
perhaps. But it is my city. And if there is information that you have to alleviate your involvement, let us discuss it. But I will
I don't see how this warrants an arrest. I would happily go down to the precinct with you and have a discussion. However, I have done nothing to warrant suspicion of me.
And she looks around. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check.
Dro's
Gordon's
gonna
over here
chime in.
going, I'm fucking innocent, man.
While he's going, Dro's gonna chime in. He was drug along with no choice.
Yeah, we'll keep her mouth shut.
Will you come willingly?
You're asking Yaslin or Warden?
Warden.
I will come willingly, as long as I am not shackled.
Is armed escort acceptable?
That is fine.
Understood. She summons about 6 guards for you.
What am I gonna do? Fly away?
I wish!
Do you think someone could just carry me? I don't really think I can walk.
There's like a beefy dude that like walks up and like picks Yaslin up.
Ah, thank you.
Don't mention it. Like, actually don't. This is weird. I don't usually have to carry people.
This is a rare sight. Yaslin being carried.
Normally I'm the one who does the carrying, so this is a little weird for me too, but...
Yeah, you feel like you're dense.
If I didn't have these handcuffs on, I think I would be offended.
Sorry. That happens. And Margot, you're still arguing with the guards.
Yeah, she still has her, like, whatever goes for a diplomatic passport out.
The rest of your
I
group,
don't see why you would want to shackle me.
Diplomatic immunity.
from what our reports say, from fleeing the runic tankard, you have quite the arcane abilities.
Dro's just gonna stare at Margot.
I'm gonna say to Locke inside me, will those cuffs cut off my connection to you?
No, I may stop your ability to channel outward, but I'm still here.
Exactly what I wanted to hear, but... I can go
Depends
for
on
it.
how clever we can be.
She's gonna put her arms out. I hope you know what you're doing. What you've started here today.
You four have a piece each of the puzzle of what happened here today. I intend to find that out.
Is that what the lady said to all of us?
Yeah, that's what the lady said.
I'm going to tell you now, ma'am. I probably don't have the piece that you hope I have.
She just kind of smiles and turns around. It's time for a discussion. And she walks off, and those escorting you continue, like, kind of ushering you forward, while many of the town guard do stay behind and continue helping the wounded and start doing guard duties, like investigating and talking to people about what happened, trying to look at the evidence of the scene, healing, repairing things, clearing rubble, etc.
Warden will holster both of his weapons, and he'll take just a little bit longer to follow after everyone as he stares at the injured people and the burning buildings, and there's a part of him that wants to just, like, push past the guards and heal everyone, do what he can to protect everyone, and then he's going to very unwillingly, with a loud turn around and start walking away, every once in a while just glancing over his shoulder to see how effectively these guards, who are really late to their arrival, or really late to the party, are doing.
You guys had some magical assistance to, like, get you closer. But, yeah, and it does... Wooden's intention and desire to help is definitely super admirable. But as you see the guards helping out, they're actually doing a good job. Even if Warden wants to do it himself.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he doesn't care if they're doing a good job or not. He wants to do it himself.
Right. So you guys walk off into the colorful and less burnt horizon of the city of Aurora's Rest.
To add to kind of what Warden said, I think when Dro walks through this, he's also just looking at the devastation that's around him right now, and concern across his face.
It's not a huge amount of the town. I mean, once you pass out that square, the rest of the city is normal within a couple of blocks, other than distressed people.
Right. I think his...
As you guys go to have a discussion with Captain Bloodthorn, who, Dro, you don't need a history check for this. You've never met her, but from your street rat days, she's spoken of in reverence like a boogeyman of criminals.
Are we, her and I, in the front of the group or in the back?
The front.
Okay. Dro's just gonna glance at the rest of them and just of a look of just go with it.
You guys march off and fade into the crowd as the smokes and screams of what happened become muted and fall into the background. And that is where we are going to end our session for the night.